there seems to be really a lack of coherent strategy with regards to how we as the United States are dealing with Iran as we look at this threat of a nuclear-armed Iran, as well as this threat of Islamic extremists like ISIS. It's less about the name of a specific group. The common theme here is that these are radical Islamic extremists conducting these violent terroristic activities, and until we recognize and understand who they are, how they're operating, then we're not going to be able to have a coherent and winning strategy to defeat them.
All right, folks, joining us now, Jonathan Tobin, senior editor for Commentary Magazine. And Jonathan, we have news, three pieces of disturbing news today as it relates to Iran and the Obama administration. First of all, yesterday we found out that once again the IAEA has said, Iran's not cooperating with us. We don't have any way of knowing what they're doing. While the president keeps telling us through interview after interview, Iran has lived up to everything they said they would do so far. So he's either lying through his teeth or he's got some spy network that's inspecting that the IAEA doesn't know about. Number two, we find out through an AP story today that Iran may run centrifuges at a fortified underground site that was previously secretive until recently. They'd be allowed to run their centrifuges there. And number three, I will get to after you address the first two.
Well, you're absolutely right. Lots of bad news about Iran, and it's all going in the same direction. The first item that you referred to, it sounds a little arcane, but the International Atomic Energy Agency has been telling us for several months that the Iranians have stonewalled them on their military research program, which is the key point. It's their efforts to build a bomb. And in order for this deal to make any sense, for there to be any verification, we have to know exactly what they've done. We have to know where they are with their program, and they have refused to do so. Now, the latest concession that the administration has made in the nuclear talks in their zeal for a deal is that they're allowing the Iranians to go on stonewalling the IAEA, and that it will be several years until they'll be forced to fess up about what they've done, which means, get this straight now, that not only will they be able to cheat their way to a bomb over the course of a deal that's expected to last 10 or 15 years before it expires, but that they may well get to a bomb by observing it, by actually abiding by its terms. That's how weak this arrangement is. It's amazing.
It's amazing, but it's by now it's to be expected. Let me also ask you about this report that Obama has declassified a 1980s document which details Israel's nuclear program, including where the sites are, where the bombs are. Now, I'm hoping, and maybe you could shed some light on this for me, that that's an outdated document, being that it was from back in the 80s, and Israel, wouldn't apply now, so to speak. But what the heck is that about?
Well, we know what that's about. Now, as far as this document, anything that's classified for more than 30 years isn't worth the paper it's printed out on in 1980s terms, or the computer file which didn't exist then. But the point is, Israel's nuclear capability is no secret. Everybody knows it. And as has long been apparent, it's no threat to its neighbors. It's just a deterrent against those who are trying to destroy Israel. What Obama is doing here by releasing this is just taking yet another shot at the Israeli government, trying to make a point that somehow they are morally equivalent to the Iranian regime that he's eager to make a détente with. That's what this is about. This is about his affection, frankly, for a totalitarian, anti-Semitic, terrorist-supporting regime, and his, open disdain for a democratically elected government in Israel.
To quote Mike Huckabee, who made those statements on this show. Anyway, finally, Ted Cruz. You wrote a piece asking, is there a realistic Ted Cruz scenario? What's your answer to that question?
Well, the answer is it's no more unrealistic than just about any other Republican candidate that you could think of. Frankly, Steve, if it was 4 years ago, and we were talking about who's going to be the conservative who unites Tea Partiers and evangelicals and other conservatives to sort of face up against the Republican moderates, we would have thought, well, maybe it's Michelle Bachmann. Maybe she'll do, maybe she'll be the one to do it. And we would have laughed at Rick Santorum's chances of, sort of getting into the finals. Now, as it turns out, we didn't know, If we had said those things, we would have been dead wrong. I mean, I said those things and I was dead wrong. We don't know how well Ted Cruz is going to play. My point is that people have been underestimating him. He's a powerful debater. Debates will be so important. He's really smart. He's not going to blow himself up.
Right.
He combines a lot of good characteristics for a candidate. Now, can he win a general election? He's going to have to prove that. I'm skeptical. But the point is, he's a viable candidate.
Right.
And
Don't sell him short.
Crazy.
As Larry Kudlow said here on the show yesterday, don't rule him out. Don't sell him short. Thank you very much, Jonathan. Appreciate it. Folks, we're coming back with Noah Rothman of HotAir.com. A lot of hot air going on. Don't go away.